NVC mediation is a process of conflict resolution that has been developed, practiced, and taught by John Kinyon and Ike Lasater since 2002. Based on the principles of nonviolent communication developed by Dr. Marshall Rosenberg, John and Ike have evolved a system for mediating conflict and a training program for learning these skills that is now generating broad excitement and international interest. In this approach, the mediator facilitates a conversation in which each party is heard to their satisfaction, both for their experience of what has happened and for the deeper human needs that are important to them. From this place, solutions arise out of compassion and the desire to contribute to one another's well-being. Consistently, when people hear each other at this level, they begin a collaborative search to find solutions that work for everyone. John and Ike have practiced NVC mediation individually and as a team since 2002. They have worked on just about every level of human relations, including couples, families, communities, businesses, and institutions. Their mediation practices have taken them across the United States and around the world. Their clients have included universities, schools, large and small businesses, families, and individuals. Mediation training is another important activity that John and Ike engage in. They began teaching together in 2002 after a trip to Pakistan where they shared NVC conflict resolution skills with Afghan tribal members in a refugee camp. What is unique about their approach is how they have broken down the mediation process into a set of discrete steps and skills that can be learned and practiced one at a time. Borrowing from Montessori teaching principles, John and Ike's methodology isolates these skills and then adds one layer of difficulty at a time. This process allows learners to self-direct and balance the level of difficulty and challenge to optimize their learning. They place a strong emphasis on experiential learning. Their three-chair model involves a role-play system of two conflictants and a mediator. Participants rotate through all three of these roles, each role contributing valuable perspectives and learning experience. As a role player, students can fully step into the role of conflictant, and by doing so, deepen their understanding and ability to empathize with multiple perspectives. Practicing this strengthens their capacity to see the humanity in every person and in themselves. Students learn from this experience what seems effective and ineffective, what it feels like to be fully heard or to be judged and given advice instead. In giving feedback to the mediator, role players practice identifying what works and what doesn't, and learn by expressing this. In the role of mediator, students get to practice one or more of the skills the training is designed to develop. The process allows the mediator to control the level of difficulty of the practice they are doing. A mediator can select the skill that they would like to practice, for instance, empathy or reflection or tracking, and the level of challenge that they would like the role players to give them. And they can set the level of coaching feedback they would like to receive. All of this adds up to a self-created and very individualized learning experience that is set at an optimum level of challenge and is focused on the area of skill that the person would like to develop. Effective coaching is another critical aspect of John and Ike's training process. Skillful coaching includes knowing when and how to offer one's experience and skills in a way that supports and deepens learning. Coaching can be offered in real time during the mediation practice or afterwards as summary feedback. Participants in Ike and John's trainings report that in addition to deepening their mediation skills, significant personal growth results from studying with them. This is because one aspect of their training specifically focuses on learning to cope with situations that are emotionally triggering for the mediator. A setting is created where the triggering stimulus is offered, and then the necessary empathy to process and reduce the sensitivity of that trigger is provided. The result is that mediators develop the capacity to stay present in situations where the content or emotions happening, for instance anger, would normally cause them to become ineffective. Ike and John attempt to live and model the principles of NVC mediation in the way they conduct their trainings. They communicate and mediate their needs transparently in front of the group, and work with whatever conflicts arise in the group as participants search for how to best meet their learning and other needs. To learn more about NVC mediation services or training with John Kinyon and Ike Lasater, contact either of them using the following information.